Here we go. Let's see if everything works. YouTube is responding. It is receiving my content. Once again, absolutely no warning, because that's just the way I do things at the moment. But yes, we are live, and it's working. The scroll, I've done a... Look, I've got fancy tech now. I've got a little scroll at the bottom with the... with the YouTube sponsors on it. Because I am a professional and I know how OBS works now, apparently. Hello everyone, Rachel Patel, Mr. Matt, Commando M, Shane Foster, welcome to the stream. You got in fast, as did De Paperfleeganar. You are very quick. When you catch those streams, you catch them fast. And hello Dragon Rick Lord and Rofty. They were given warning. I actually warned my sponsors. Because I don't like to say I'm going to stream till I'm 100% sure I'm going to stream, but I'm not 100% sure I'm going to stream till about 30 seconds before I stream. So I told them I'm probably going to stream later, a couple hours ago. And then was like, I am going to stream. Awesome. I didn't lie. And now here we are. You too can get slight amounts of warning for stream starting if you become a YouTube sponsor. Oh dear. Alright, let's get underway, shall we? I'm going to remember this time to switch to the right screen. Oh yeah, the time. The time is it's 1 AM in the UK right now, but that's normal for me. So I'm going to be streaming for about 1 AM till 3 AM UK time, so sorry UK people who are asleep and are watching this VOD later on that I'm doing things at weird times, but it's great for the US, probably. And thank you, Featherblade, for your 10 New Zealand dollars. Go Ribbonworld. :3. Okay. Ta-da! It faded. Did you see that? There was a fade. It's so fancy now. Oh, we have a new sponsor. Welcome, Phoenix Gravin. Thank you for sponsoring. Very much appreciated. Helps me to continue to do this as a job, which is awesome. If you want to join the Discord server, then you've got to link your Discord and your YouTube, and then you've got to press a button that'll appear that lets you join the server, then you can join it, and you can say hi to everyone else in there. So yeah, early morning, late night stream, depending on where you are. I mean, it's a reasonable time of day at some part of the world, right? So yeah, I've learned a couple more things about OBS now because I had to, as an emergency, for Roll For It, because I ran the tech for a Roll For It stream on Tuesday, and so Maggie taught me a crash course in OBS in a very short space of time so that I could make it work. And now I know how to make, like, text scroll. I know how to use the studio mode that lets you prepare a scene before people can see it. So from now on, there's going to be slightly higher production values on my streams. So there you go. We've done some science. We're up to blue... We've got military science as well, haven't we? Let's do more lab research speed, because that's what we were doing before, and there's still some left. Yes, so for those who are not familiar with the series, I'm playing Ribbonworld, which is where no mods are involved. This is a completely modless save. All you do is when you're setting up the game, there happens to be settings for width and height of the world. So you just set the height of the world to 64 tiles, and you get this. And you've got to work within this space. You can make it smaller for more of a challenge. I was more interested in just the general idea of playing on a world that's in a straight line, and I wanted space from a railway, so I made it relatively wide, the ribbon. And we've been slowly working our way along via many streams. And this is where we are so far. People are talking in the chat. I should be a professional and read what they're saying. Mr. Matt says, do you have a Patreon or is it just YouTube? I do not have a Patreon currently. It's something I'm considering doing at some point, but I want to make sure I do it right. And generally when I want to make sure I do something right, it means I never do it. Case in point, Rail Tutorial Part 3, the finale of Railworld, the finale of Living with Biters, a lot of things. But yeah, so who knows if we'll ever have a Patreon, but I do intend to have one at some point. In the meantime, YouTube sponsorship is the way to go, or potentially the Roll For It Patreon, because they do pay me, because I'm contracted to them, I suppose, as an admin. So supporting there supports me as well. Depends on what you like me doing. If you want me to do more roleplay streams and stuff with Roll For It, then you support there, and if you want me to do more Factorio streams, support me here, I suppose. I intend to continue doing both. What is the plan for today? So I've given a rough guess of what I think we're doing today in the description, which is steel smelting, because we currently aren't doing that. There is no steel. There's a small amount of steel left on the end of the line. But yeah, it's not so great. We're about to stop having a supply for certain things. What's this for? Oh, that's the ore line. Oh, we finished! Look, we finished mining it! It's happened! There's no more iron! We've mined through that entire deposit. The day has come. It only took like 4 times as long as I thought it would. So, yeah, that's good. We can clear that out and make things a little bit less messy. Got all this nice stuff set up, which is good. That's sorted. But yeah, steel currently not smelting anywhere. Need somewhere to smelt it. Don't know where to put it, really, because I'd sort of reserved this now for iron smelting. I think there's just enough room here to smelt 4 blue belts of iron if I use the entire space. I want to leave that and use it for that. So I need to make the steel elsewhere. So maybe cram it in here. One day this will probably all be copper smelting, I would guess. And that leaves nowhere for the steel smelting to be unless we encroach on here maybe, but that doesn't seem like a good idea. I think in the short term I will probably just set up some like temporary smelting, like up here. Let's just start plonking down some electric furnaces up here. That seems like a good idea. Okay, hello. Paper Plane has just given a €50 super chat. Thank you very much. I should try saying your name properly as to I don't know, because I should. De Papier Fliganar is roughly the way it's said. Yeah, so yeah, you've not been able to catch a couple of the recent streams, so I'm not sure if you've actually been here since I started the YouTube sponsorship thing. So yeah, I've set that up now. There's a button. It's definitely visible on YouTube Gaming. Sometimes it's visible on YouTube if the winds are, like, moving in the right way. If the stars have aligned, then you can press the button on YouTube and it will then take you to YouTube Gaming anyway, and then you can become a sponsor, which is like becoming a subscriber on Twitch, but subscriber means something else on YouTube, so it's very confusing. It means you'll get mixed up with sponsors, because they're a separate thing, you know. And yeah, I've set up a Discord server that you can get to if you are a YouTube sponsor. And hello, Avak, welcome to the stream. You're the one person I'm never surprised to see at any sort of random hour of the day, because you don't sleep. Oh, I've got a lot of random ore on me. Right, I need to make some... I can make a few electric furnaces. What am I missing? I'm missing stone brick. Oh, that's easy. It's right over here. Though I think I'm going to use up my supply if I don't fix things over here. Yeah, there's only so much around. Should keep an eye on that. Yeah, I'm just going to cram some steel smelting in here and fix it later. I'll move this stuff out of the way, so we'll stick a couple of chests over here. Just transplant the contents of these over to here. Oh, I'm going to fill up my inventory with junk. I hope I can work out what's what again. Don't need that. That or that. We're done with these for now. What else? Anything in particular? That. Probably something in here that's... nothing stands out. That should be fine then. Give us the best use of this space. And I'm not surprised by this at all, but thank you very much to Paper Fleeganar for becoming a sponsor. That's the thing, of like, there's a few people who already have been super chatting me out a lot, and I'm like, well, I guess you might as well do that if you're gonna do it. then I can give you something back, at the very least. Okay, how do I want to do this? I haven't actually got a plan here. Oh, there's a nice compact way of doing it. I do need to shift things up by a couple of tiles. More stuff is happening. Okay. Thank you, Emmanuel Gonzalez and Feta Dude for becoming sponsors as well. It's all happening at once over there. Okay, move this to here. Oh, I don't think... Do we have the space? Yes, just about to fit it in on both sides. You need to motivate yourself to actually finish a game of Factorio. You get to blue signs before you ever get... Wait. Get to blue signs before I get tired of my... Oh, I see. You get tired of your Factory after blue signs. Yeah, that's, like... I can understand that, like... I think it's better than it used to be, because it used to be that blue signs was this insurmountable task that was a huge pain to reach, and they've helped to even that out a bit by making blue signs more attainable and then adding in later on levels of science pack, so... They made it easier, but I can understand, like, always getting bored of your factory at a certain point. I rarely finish a game. I usually get bored, like, in the later science packs, anywhere from, like, just after blue to, like, even just after the final kind, apart from space science. I'll get bored there sometimes. I guess it's a case of working out what frustrates you at that stage of the game, because usually it comes down to something about, trying to concentrate on too many things. It comes down to something about, like, a part of your factory not being right. Like, it usually, like, I find that I'll get bored of a game because I've run into my own, like, the limitations of what I've built, sort of thing. So maybe, like, if you're not sure what the problem is, look at, like, what is holding you back, what is becoming dull at that point, and maybe there's something you can do at the start of the game that means that later on you don't get, like, frustrated. I need steel. Which is awkward, because I'm making the steel smelting. Let's set up what we can of this, and then I'll start, and then I can use the steel that we make. Let's just, borrow some of this ore over here, and by that I mean permanently take. And then just start putting down a couple of inserters around the place. Okay, I need to, catch up with chat. We've got another 10 euros from the Paper Fleek and Art. So you got to be on the computer to do this stuff. Well, I have been working most of the time when you were streaming. Unfortunately, I can't watch streams while driving. That is good that you have that opinion. Because I do sometimes worry. Occasionally you hear people talking about how they watch stuff while driving. And you're like, I hope you mean listen. I hope you're just getting your words wrong there. Don't YouTube and drive, people. Okay, I need a lot of power poles. There we go, we've got a bit running. It's going to take a while for it to actually produce steel, though. But it's going. And we can... How many is this? It's 7. 7's an awkward number. Let's have 6 then. We only need 3 more furnaces. That's not too bad. That's the 30 steel. I'm good, Kelly Fogg. Thank you. I'm good enough that I'm nice and alert and awake at this sort of time and can do the stream. Though in a way that could be said to be a bad thing. Because really I shouldn't be awake and alert at this time. My sleep is ruined. Most definitely. But I'm fine with that. At the moment, it works well because currently there are so many like streams and stuff that I'm watching that happen at stupid hours. And I don't need to get up early because my job is this. As long as I'm awake for my collabs and for Roll For It streams, I'm good. And so I have a sleep schedule, it's just shifted. So I end up being awake at 2 AM and being absolutely fine. One day I'll fix it. But for now, there's too many streams that are happening that I want to watch. And to that end, I am actually going to see about doing an old-fashioned manual raid at the end of this stream. Of course, this isn't Twitch, so we can't do proper raids, but I can do it the old-fashioned way and tell people just go to a stream, because there is one starting at 3 AM my time, and that is when I intend to finish. So I will direct you all there then. That'll be fun. Oh, more chat stuff happening. Have a cup of tea and an apple. Very good combination. Yeah, some of my series are broke due to updates. Living with Biters in particular, an update broke that, and I never got round to seeing if that had even been fixed. But thank you, Jetu Hadjis. Hadjisay? I'm not going to continue trying. It'll only go badly. With 20, I believe, Australian dollars. So nice to catch Bentham live. Not so nice that it is because I had to take the day off work due to being sick. Nothing like YouTube and vomit. Oh, that's unfortunate. I hope you get better soon. Is this the steel line? Yes, it is. So I just need to do that, and now we have steel again. I think that's the steel line. Yes, it is. All is good. And Dragon McLord with £10. Yay, never enough iron. Imminent attacking of biter bases and more trains for the win. Also, Bentham, hope you are having a good Saturday morning. Also, are you snowed in? I'm not snowed in. It's definitely snowy, but it's not like I can get out the door fine. It's relatively not bad here. I don't think I can drive anywhere right now. I've not dared to try. My car is on, like... My driveway is very steep and then flattens out, and my car sits at the top. So it means that if I try and get out of the drive, or get into the drive, there is a chance that I will go flying down the drive and across the road and hit a wall. So I generally avoid trying to drive in this sort of weather. Luckily I haven't needed to go anywhere. But one of Factorio, not enough iron. Definitely true. As you can see, not enough iron. Can we fix that? It's like all these are running, and we're definitely wearing this deposit down. We've already got rid of this one over here now. Is there another one over here? There is one. Oh, that's 3 million nearly. That's pretty good. Definite target there. Is that another one where the look at it's got the weird different colors on it? What is this about? It's darker and lighter. Wizardry. And then over here we've got a bunch, and over here we've got a bunch. Are we delivering this? Oh, I think we are. Yeah, train's being loaded here, and then it doesn't go anywhere. Yeah, we haven't set that up yet. Okay, so the train's just being loaded right now. We need to actually get it being delivered. Now I remember what we were doing. Okay, so the copper smelting needs to go, but that's not too bad. Just cut that line there and let it naturally run down, I suppose. Actually, that will take all of time. We can... You know what we can do? I can't believe I forgot this. I've got a storage full of iron here. I should probably use this. Okay, let's just, like, send the belt this way. Just switch this to a normal belt. Set that up. Probably want to do a bit of wizardry with splitters, actually. Let's do that. Trust me, it'll make sense in a second. Then we have output priority right, and then just copy that through all of them. That one doesn't need it, but whatever. One layer of it might have been enough, but 2 layers is definitely enough to have 2 full belts being produced, assuming that this can manage that sort of thing, which actually I'm not sure about. Let us find out. Flip all these around, and flip all these around. And this is going to reveal a change in a recent update of Factorio, which has made me very happy. Let's just finish this first. You see this? The belt's compressed. They've re-implemented the the slidey thing. They've made it so it works again. Belts are compressed again. It's wonderful. No more horrific messing about with splitters endlessly to try and get belts to actually be full. Inserters just do it now. It's perfect. It's wonderful. Also, there's occasionally a bug that means that you get like crazy stacks of thousands of items on a belt, and it's hilarious. So yeah, that's a thing. And that means that any lack of ore supply here is made up for here. So we got our 2 full belts, which isn't enough yet. It might start to be. We perhaps just need to give it time. Yeah, this is only producing 1 full belt's worth of iron. I don't know if it can do more than that. I think things are gonna... yeah, they're gonna build up, basically. So for the moment it's not good, but I think in a minute it's gonna work. Actually, no, because now these can be properly compressed. It'll produce 2 full belts of iron, actually. Oh. There's... hello. There's weird... oh, are you seeing this? Everything's sliding. Even though there's, like, space. I think we found a bug. That's the thing, that the devs have been doing a really good job recently of making systems more efficient, making them use less, like, processing power to run. And I imagine that a large part of that is, like, really shrinking down the code sort of thing. And I think they've gone slightly too far this time. They made it so efficient that there's weird bugs with things sliding around now. Because it's, there's a couple of edge cases where weird stuff happens, so... probably spotted that some of these were they've stopped doing it now, annoyingly, but a minute ago all these groups were sliding around independently. It was a bit weird. More research finished. I don't know what to focus on. Oh, let's do mining productivity so we can get a bit more out of our miners. But yeah, this looks like it's going to start building up, maybe. Actually, I think these are using exactly half a belt, so this is going to be exactly balanced. If anything else builds up, then it'll work, but I don't think anything else will build up, so whatever. So yeah, that's that fixed. We have steel. Copper is clearing out. It's cleared out enough, I think, that we can actually put in the rails, which was the point, so... start cutting a bunch of old belts and stuff here. We'll have to do something about the coal later and re-implement some of these lines, but some of them do absolutely nothing. Well, the darker lighter thing... oh, this is important. Crap. The darker lighter thing with the iron deposits, I don't think that's it. I think that, like, as far as I've seen, it's supplying everywhere. That there's loads of deposits all over all sorts of maps, no matter when they were made, where the colours are different, depending on the chunk, and there's no apparent reason why. And I'm very curious. I wonder if it's a biome thing. That'd be my best guess. But I really don't know. Yeah, we can clear all this out, we can get our tracks in place, we can start looking at places to unload the iron ore that we're going to get delivered in from the west. So there we go. I think the coal supply will be fine for everything continuing to run. Oops, oh, I should have seen that coming, it was obvious. There we go. If you watch in 1.25 speed, how much time do you catch up? I don't actually know what the maths is for that. I know that if you watch in double speed, then however far into the stream you are, that's how long it will take to catch up. So we're currently 24 minutes in, which means that if you watch in double speed, in 24 minutes time you'll be caught up. May say, shouldn't it be 12? But remember that once you've been watching at double speed for 12 minutes, the stream has progressed 12 minutes. It'll take another 6 minutes, and then another 3, then another 1.5, so on and so forth. Adds up to 23.5999999 seconds recurring. You see that? This is why you gotta listen in school, so that when you're watching your YouTube videos, you know when you have to You know what speed you have to be watching in to catch up in time. Important stuff. Oh, what are people talking about now? Don't be afraid to do things wrong, make mistakes, and use your own designs, throw things at the wall, see what sticks. Don't be afraid to restart the game and try again. Yes, good advice for Factorio. I think, I can't remember if I've said this on these streams, but I've definitely said this before, but I do like to say that my best advice for playing Factorio is don't watch other people play it. Yeah, I think I've said it in this particular stream series before. It's like, watching other people, you'll just end up copying them and you'll have less fun than if you come up with the designs yourself. It'll be a lot less satisfying. Terrible advice for a YouTuber, I know. But I think it's true. Right, let's make another coal unloady thing here so we can actually pick up everything that we're getting here. There you go. And also, I'm still holding tons of ore. Let's fix this and make it build up a bit. There we go. That'll shut all these down, like grabbing more ore. The line will build up. It'll run back to there. Might improve things a bit. So the only thing we'll do is accelerate any improvement that might be happening already. Also helps if you don't get intimidated by the biters after they kill you the first time in the campaign. Oh, turn the biters off. You don't need them. They're a good adversary in later playthroughs as a challenge, but you don't need them to play the game. In a certain sense, they interfere with your factory building. Like, if you just want to build a factory, turn the biters off. If you want to have to deal with things messing with your factory, then you have the biters on. First-time players should probably just leave the biters out of it. Leave that till you, know more about what you're doing. And you want the little bit of extra difficulty that they bring. You don't get YouTube Gaming, where's that Discord supposed to be? So if you, it's all done on Discord's end. Once you are a sponsor, you just have to go to Discord. So you go to Discord, you go to the Connections tab in your personal settings. And in that tab, you can integrate YouTube Gaming, specifically. It's the same thing as YouTube, it's dumb. You can integrate YouTube Gaming with Discord, and when you do that, after a certain amount of time, I think it isn't instantaneous, but at some point, you will then have a button appear in that tab with my Discord and any other Discords you're entitled to. And a button saying join, and then you press that, and it automatically adds you to the server, where I will say hi. And then you can talk to me and the other people in there. Discord integration is very good. It's good at making up for the failings of other programs that it's integrated with. Though there is only so much it can do about the nightmare that is Patreon. Double speed is too fast. Yeah, that's fair. I'm used to listening to myself in double speed, so I can, but I imagine that, few people can easily listen to someone in double speed. And indeed enjoy it. There we go, Paper Plane has apparently found it. I can check the Discord. Let's do it now. Let's be unprofessional and look now and see if you've been added. Yes you have, I think. With your other username, I remember that. It looks like you've all three of you have managed to make it there. Well done. Awesome. Right, yes. Factorio, that's a game I'm playing. I'm a YouTuber. I have to be able to speak faster, and most of my commentary on my videos is played back at 3 times speed. Here's the thing. When I'm, I always like to I guess, proof view my videos before putting them out. And I always do that in double speed. But that means that when I, like, for Factorio Towns and Railworld and that, whenever I would watch those back, I'd be watching them back at 6 times speed, because they'd be triple speed already, then I'd watch them back at double speed. So I got very used to listening to my voice going fast, because I also try and talk fast in those, because more stuff is happening that I need to keep up with. What mods would I personally recommend? I'm not the person to ask, because I pretty much never use mods. I'll be honest, very rarely. I am not well versed at all in Factorio mods. I've played very few of them. Off the top of my head, I can't really think of any that I can recommend and have a decent amount of stuff I can tell you about it. Right, let's reconnect some coal so that this keeps running. But we're just going to have to implement a new coal line. I think I'm going to run it down the middle of the rails just to keep it out of the way of places. A coal line is the sort of thing you need running everywhere, so... bring it down to here. Underground it. Let's take it to, like, the bottom line. Or actually, no, not the bottom line, because we need space for signals and stuff. I can actually, like, I don't need to... Why did I do that? I can just do this. I can just run it along the rail lines the entire time. Yes, it has to deal with this for a second, but it's really not a problem. Like, we don't even need both of these lines anymore. I'm just not removing them out of laziness. Maybe I'll need a line going that way again later, so we'll just leave it. Oh, that's awkward. Huh. Oh, we've invented red belts. Let's cheat. Leap the whole thing in one go. And actually, at this point, we'll probably turn off here and go up. Just to connect up with what we already have. Again, the lazier option. Let's, for the moment, have both belts in play. We'll input priority right so that we can clear this out. And then once that's done, this belt will take over. And that should be good. And also I have stupid amounts of coal on me right now. Is it interesting that Bentham is probably currently speaking with a chat that's mostly not hearing him yet? I mean, in the sense that there's the stream delay? I'm just used to that. I mean, for me, as well as the stream delay, there is also the Bentham delay, which is how long it takes me to actually get round to reading the comment that you posted 5 minutes ago. So, that's also something you have to contend with. Curious if I'm still doing the Minecraft shenanigans with EE. At the moment, we've not been doing any more recording sessions of that because EE has been absolutely swamped with work in the past couple of weeks. There was actually one more episode of Minecraft that I've got to upload, but he hasn't uploaded episode 5 yet, so I haven't been particularly rushed to upload episode 6 also. If you watched episode 5, you'll know that I screwed up and completely borked the bitrate of my video, so as soon as I move, everything goes to a blurry mess, because I am a derp. That still applies for episode 6. Particularly frustrating because it's like a feature-length episode. It went on for over an hour. And at the end of it, I looked back and was like, I have done a bork. So that's going to come out at some point. And I think there's one more Factorio episode as well. I've just sort of been holding them because E hasn't put them out either. What are these belts for? Is this all copper and stuff? Everything's just a mess here, because I can't just build new belts in new places. I've got to rebuild stuff in old places because of the nature of this sort of map. Oh yeah, this is no longer a thing. Let's just get rid of that entirely. Yeah, my upload schedule is just like my chat interactions. Late. How many hours have I played this game? It's got to be over 1,000. Definitely over 1,000, possibly approaching 2,000. On Steam alone, I have 400 and something hours, I think? Might be more than that now. And the vast majority of my games have been played not on Steam. So yeah, I have a crazy amount of time in Factorio. What was it, of quality of life mods you've seen? Nanobots and Upgrade Planner. I've never even heard of Nanobots. I know Upgrade Planner, that is a neat one. Zouth says, can you ask me something? Yes, sorry about not getting back to you for like 5 minutes. Long Reach, also a good mod. Hey, you're not that late, Hanno. It's only, we're 35 minutes in. If you're watching double speed, you'll be caught up practically by the halfway mark. Mining, like, extremely long belts is a good way for me to catch up on the chat. Yes, I know using red belts isn't technically cheating, but it's like cheating within the system that I was currently operating on, which was using entirely yellow belts, you know. Speaking of, I think I'm going to clean up this mess here. This can just be continuous belt now. I'm going to dump so much crap into my inventory. But this is the sacrifice I must make for a nice looking main bus. Nice to be able to upgrade to long reach. So yeah, that's a good idea as well, to incorporate a lot of those quality of life things into science. Just to make it feel more sort of reasonable that you're using it, I suppose. Because some people can consider like long reach and stuff to be sort of cheating. Whereas if you have to work for it a bit more, then it might be more accepting of it. I don't know if that people are that bothered though. I might just be making up things here. Yeah, the stuff with E hasn't been scrapped, it's just been put on hold while he's doing infinite stuff. He's got, he had that big 3-day stream thing with, is it Hearts of Iron? Or the other one? I don't know what game it was. One of the Paradox ones. They all blend together for me. I know Stellaris and then all the other ones which are about wars on Earth or something. He was playing one of those for 3 days, and there's some new games coming out that he's covering and stuff, so he just hasn't had the time. It's fine by me, because I've been terrible at uploading stuff recently, so I've got too much of a backlog, it's a problem. I need to stop recording more collabs. It's too much. How much Factorio with Sheepdog and Peachy do I have left? Staying on topic there. 2.5 streams, I think? It's not as bad as before, but it's not much better either. I'm trying to start doing them daily now. Today and yesterday I've managed to upload one. I intend to continue that tomorrow and the day after and so on and so forth and try and get caught up. For the moment, we're not doing any more streams because we're waiting till I'm caught up. Going to play some other games in the meantime on Wednesdays, and then we're going to have our finale where we're going to invite people onto the server to murder us, most likely. Or berate us for terrible factory design. Oh wow, copper got bad quick. I was not paying attention. Let's get this set up then. For the moment, I'm going to steal this. I'm just going to make use of the smelters we already have. And I'm also going to make a few more. How many do we need? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And there's 8. And then a lot of fast inserters. Like a new stack of them. Might need some more power poles. Oh, we're out of wood. Oh no, we have a bunch of that in storage, don't we? That's not a problem. Yeah, we'll temporarily just use this. Even though it's supposed to be iron. What makes me keep playing this game? Like, what draws me back in? It's very sandboxy, I suppose. It's, every playthrough is different. That's definitely an important part of it. Like, it's one of those games where you can play it over and over, and it's a bit different every time. And yet, in certain ways, it's the same. Like, it's also a game I can switch off and play if I like, because I've got so used to some builds now that I can just, like, play it without necessarily paying a lot of attention. I probably won't play it quite as well if I do that, but you know. But yeah, like the thing is that when this game, when I first played this game, not when this game came out, because that was before I knew it was a thing. When I first played this game, a part of me went, "This is the game I've been looking for." A part of me knew that I was gonna be playing this years and years down the line. I didn't know it was gonna make me a full-time YouTuber. That was a surprise, but from the get-go, I'm like, this is the game that I sort of knew I wanted. Like, I'd had vague ideas about wouldn't it be cool to have a production line sort of thing before. But then there have been games like that, and they've not been as entertaining. Like Production Line, as an example. That's one where, for a moment, I thought I was going to be hooked, and then I played it and was like, oh, actually, this is fun, but it's fun once. Because once you've built your car factory and production line, you're done. You've done the thing, now you press fast forward, you make infinite money, you can build whatever you like. The challenge is gone, and you lose interest in continuing. Even though it's a game about production lines and all that sort of thing, and follows the same sort of principles as Factorio, it's just not... like, it's a one-time thing. Whereas with Factorio, it's so sandboxy and so open, and there's so many different ways of playing it, and so many different solutions to every problem, that I feel like I can always come back to it and have a slightly different experience, but still know what I'm in for, I suppose. And I've got more to say on that, but also I should respond to Hero Ultra Mega. Thank you for becoming a new sponsor. I greatly appreciate it, because all these give me a reliable, steady rate of income that is a lot more reliable than YouTube ad revenue, and means that I can be more confident in continuing on the path that I'm on of doing YouTube stuff. Because it is endlessly scary to be a YouTuber, because at any point everything could just set on fire. That's probably not the right way of saying it, actually, because it is on fire. It's always on fire. It was always burning since the world was turning, but sometimes it gets worse, and that's mainly what we're scared of. We've got used to the baseline level of fire, but sometimes the fire gets a bit more, and that's scary, and ruins careers from time to time on YouTube. Whereas stuff with sponsorship and stuff, that's a lot more reliable and comforting. Also, there's the thing that it is worth a vast amount in terms of like ad revenue. This is something I was telling Random Tuesday recently, and I don't know whether this holds true for anyone else, but I've looked at my own numbers. I think this has now changed, actually, but there was a time when I did some calculations and worked out that one view is worth about 1/10 of a UK penny. So 10 views is a whole penny. And so $5 is worth, accounting for exchange rates and stuff, it's more like 75 out of 100. Like, I think $1 is 600 to 750 views. That's the equivalent that I find. It's not the case for everyone. You can't use that as like a measuring stick. But just to give you some perspective. That's the thing, like, there was once a time when I endlessly, voraciously consumed YouTube videos before I was a YouTuber, and I learned that the watched videos list has a limit of 10,000, or it doesn't anymore. But at the time there was a limit of 10,000. That was an embarrassing thing to learn, because it meant I'd watch 10,000 YouTube videos that were generally about 20 minutes long each. But then when I discovered what the sort of numbers were, I'm like, wow, I generated £10 of ad revenue from watching that ridiculous amount of videos. I think that's right, £10? Yes, it is. It's crazy. Power is getting worse and worse by the second, I notice, but I think that we could try making a nuclear reactor today. That might be a bit of a stretch, but it's definitely possible. Oh. Isn't sideloading a bad thing now? No, I think sideloading still works. Well, yeah, like, it was a bad thing. It's now not a bad thing anymore. They fixed it. It's wonderful. The Factorio gods have smiled upon us and given us back what we once lost. Once again, we can sideload to our heart's content. Paperfleet Knar, why did you make the supporter thingy €4.99? Now I will always have an odd number in my credit card balance, except he's given €5 and 1 cent. I didn't set those. It's not set by the YouTuber. It is set by YouTube. It is in fact slightly different for every country as well, weirdly. There is a page somewhere that shows the different amounts depending on country and currency, and it's interesting. Yeah, that's the standard thing it's set to. Damn it, I've picked up more coal and now I can't pick up that steel. Yeah, they went back on the side loading. They changed their mind because it ruined belts, and they'd been having a big discussion about belts versus bots. And they'd concluded that bots were overpowered relative to belts, and then they went, wait, instead of ruining everything for people using bots, why don't we make belts better? So they added priority splitter functionality, filter functionality on splitters, and they momentarily removed side loading, but I think that was a side effect of optimization. And they've now fixed that again, so it's once again a thing. So belts are better than before, and that's how they fixed the bots versus belts debate. Let's dump more of these into here so we can keep steel supply somewhat healthy in the face of a not-so-great iron supply. Iron chests are indeed heresy. You will never find any in this map. I refuse. No one can build them under my nose here. I have control over this world. How did I get a world like this? I set the map height to 64 tiles. Everyone forgets that there are map height and width options in the map generation settings, but there absolutely are. And so you just limit the height of the map and you have a ribbon world. You've got to be careful about your other settings. You've got to make sure you don't fill everything with water, though it's no longer a death sentence like it used to be because landfill's a thing. You got to set your resources relatively high, otherwise you'll never see any. That's important. How is the copper supply looking? It's nothing's good. Steel is built up, but I'm not sure if that's I think that's a temporary thing. Plastic is built up, which is nice. Coal's built up, but iron and copper are both running down, which is impressive, really, that I've managed to balance that and get them both limited. Maybe one's building up. Like copper might be. Actually, no, that's looking super stable. And it's building up a bit, but yeah, it's not great. We need more of everything, and for that we need trains. Let's do some train stuff. Oh wait, power. Power is a thing. Yeah, let's add some more steam engines and stuff. Oh, I'm going to be efficient, and I'm going to go get some old furnaces to turn into boilers. Yeah, it's a very interesting challenge. It's it makes you think very differently about how you build stuff. You're forced to approach a lot of problems in a completely different way, and that's why I'm doing it. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 8 of those. That's what we want. Don't know if that'll be enough to fix the power. It'll definitely get us closer, though, of course. Yes, someone did make a Bentham mod which disables iron chests, removes them from the game. That is a thing that has happened. I'm very happy. I'm tempted to install it. But I sort of prefer burning them when other people build them to removing them from the game. But I love that that's a thing. It's great. Yeah, inserters now compress belts. I think they sort of did that before, didn't they? Or did they? Maybe they didn't. Actually, they didn't. I'm going mad. But they do now, and it's wonderful. I need some medium power poles for this. That's how this works. And there we go. How's the power now? Oh, it's still not... Or is it? It's holding, but that's all it's doing. I think we need more. We're at 10. Right, someone in chat, because I always forget this. Can you fit 10 boilers or 20 boilers on one pump? I think it's 20, but I'm not sure. And it'd be a waste to build more here if that's not the case. You're proud to say you've never built an iron chest. Thank you, Beju. You're doing the right thing. You've made a good choice in life to never build iron chests. Interesting iron chest fact. Speedrunners like Anti and Rain use iron chests in their speedruns, so apparently it's more efficient in some way. Well, I mean, if every bit of iron matters, then maybe it makes sense to use iron chests. So ignore all the times where I've not got rid of an iron pickaxe till I've used it up. And then my logic still stands. Oh dear. When am I next streaming? What with he? Bastillion? I don't even know what game you've misspelled. Seen all 9 hours and that was nearly 1 month ago. Do you mean Factorio? I assume Factorio if it's 9 hours. Have more mining productivity, why not? Ribbonworld streams usually get uploaded pretty fast. Yes, because YouTube automatically does it. Though I do like to make them private and set up like ads and stuff first. Change the description and things and then release it at a normal time of day. Linear J asks, how do I sponsor? It's on YouTube Gaming. Sometimes a button appears at the top of the YouTube chat linking you to YouTube Gaming, but it's a dice roll whether that happens. If you go to YouTube Gaming, I think I've got a link below and maybe in other places, then you can get to it there and it's right next to the subscribe button. And I don't know why it's not on YouTube. I think it's another way for YouTube to try and drive people towards YouTube Gaming, even though it's just YouTube framed differently. It's weird, but that's how you get to it. And then if you set up Discord integration with YouTube Gaming, you can get onto my Discord server. Do offshore pumps work from the void? They did. And ones placed when they did continue to work, but you can no longer do it. They've removed it from the game. But when I placed those, it was still in the game. So if I remove that, I can't rebuild that. So I'm going to make sure not to do that thing. Not to accidentally have bots deconstructed or something at some point, because that would be awkward. And yeah, from now on, if I need any more water, I got to get it from that lake. And that means water transporting trains. So that's going to be wacky. Everyone's saying 20 boilers. Okay, that's good. I can extend this a little bit further then. Someone modded an Iron Chest Eternal Flame mod. They burn until someone sees the spot on the ground. Just always... What? Something about Iron Chests burning forever? I mean, I approve, definitely. Yes, Factorio was the Bastillion series with aggressive... But what does Bastillion mean? Is that the name he's given it or something? I'm very confused. Right, how much more space do we have here? Let's build 4 of these and see what that gets us. 1, 2, 3, 4. We can just about fit another 8 total. So let's do that. Let's just get into a position where we're not going to have any issues. with steam power for a while. I need a lot of iron, I guess. Let's go get some. Yeah, offshore pumps used to work until very recently. So that's why people are a little bit confused. Like, considering that 0.16 is still experimental in the main version of the game, technically. Oh, we've got to make gears, or whatever, we'll make the gears. Technically, it is still in the game, it's just that the devs are weird and don't set something as stable until it's Covarex stable, which is like super stable, ultra stable. Stable by the standards of the devs with very high standards, which is a good way of doing things, to be fair. It's just also funny because people end up playing massively outdated versions of the game because they're told that it's the stable one and that the other one isn't ready yet. And then people get very confused when they hear about a new update because they haven't even played the old one yet. There we go, some burners because they are nice and reliable. I wonder if the yellow belt probably isn't enough anymore to keep everything properly supplied. Let's add in these. Oh, we got a biter attack over in the west. Everything's fine though, not even any damage. YouTube gaming equals YouTube times annoyance squared. That's about right. YouTube gaming isn't terrible, but so far whenever I try to navigate it, I've found it frustrating to find what I'm looking for. It's an attempt to Twitchify YouTube, but it's starting from scratch, which means it's on the back foot immediately. Biter Bastion, is that what he's called? Like, I'm guessing he's got a cool name for the series, and I haven't. I forget what I've called it. I couldn't think of a good name that still made sense and was short. That's the problem. Because I wanted to call it Factorio with EE and then add something else. It's like, that's a very long name, so I'm just going to make it simple. I think I just called it Stream, maybe. Let's clean up this mess we've got going here. I don't know what this is supposed to be. What even is... We don't need that anymore. There's not even a steel line here anymore. It's not a thing. Just run these both here. Was that the other line? Yes, it was. Just have this... Oh, uh-oh. There. Simplified. Just gotta clean up the mess. And we'll have a splitter here. And that'll do the trick. And we're working through this. We need to get those trains going soon. Also got a load of ore again. Let's dump this in these. Here we go. Hello, Boo Boo the First. When I first played, did I have trouble? Oh yeah, it was a mess the first time I played. There is a stream somewhere where I show off my original factory, and it is a mess. I mean, none of it works anymore because it was in 0.8 and we're now 0.16. So, yeah. But yeah, when I first started playing, I was not a good Factorio player. No one is. You have to learn. We all have to learn. Yes, I am quite proud of this community, Phoenix Gravin. Occasionally there's the odd bad egg, but generally everyone is very nice, which is awesome. And this is why you can have nice things. I've never said that before. I'm quite happy that I could. Again, we're building up a lot of coal in our inventory that we don't want. But I think the reason the pumping void no longer works will be to do with the green boxes to indicate where you can place it. Yeah, that is part of it. When they implemented that, that involved stopping, like, in doing so, they changed slightly how the pumps work, so you now have to build them on water. What I say about late night streams, I forget what I said last time, but this time I'm saying that they're gonna happen, probably. Because I'm awake normally at this time, might as well be productive in the time. Yeah, Coverx Experimental Stable is better than most finished games. That is true, Hailtech, definitely. The Factorio devs put other indie devs to shame with their, like, standards of quality when it comes to updates and stuff. Alright, let's get some proper work done here. I want to unload iron, and I want to do it probably over here. On the other side of these steam engines. It's going to have to be a temporary thing. Because at some point this is going to be a solid block of furnaces, but I think for now it'll be fine. One day this will go, I'm pretty sure. I'm going to just switch to nuclear. Okay, so get the blueprint. Not much space for unloading here. How many tiles is that? 1, 2, 3, 4. So inserter, box, inserter, belt. That's not enough. Really? And like a solid wagon and a half will be in that cramped space. I think we're gonna have to move it over to here for the moment. Out of the way of this. I mean, I don't think we'll ever extend the gear production quite this far down. So I think we can get away with having some station stuff here at least. Not here, because the circuits, they're going to fill the whole space at some point, I feel like. I'm probably going to be putting productivity modules in the circuits eventually. Yeah, let's just stick this here. For the moment. One day it'll move, but for now it'll be fine. It'll last a good long while. Many streams to come. Before, at some point, I'll probably just do a major overhaul of the rail system. Much later in the game. Set up a new, like, out-of-town rail station or something. That's the thing, we've got to work around the older tech, rather than just build the newer tech in a new place. Gotta make sure to do everything exactly right, because I made this blueprint and then decided that I could leave the worrying about things to a future me. So all I know is this blueprint works, and anything else might not. How close am I to robots? I mean, as close as I want to be, really, because you can fast track to those, or you can meander towards them. Like, you unlock them all before you even get blue science, or all the basics of them. But then I don't actually make them till a while later. Alright, to make a cargo wagon, I'm short on iron and gears, so let's get both. With my nice PC, nuclear UPS drops might not be a problem. Yeah, I think I'll be fine. Especially in a Ribbonworld. I imagine Ribbonworlds are really good for UPS, right? There's very little terrain and like pollution and stuff to deal with. It's just what you build. I don't really know what the sort of relative processing power usages different parts of the game have, though. To be fair. So I don't really know. Right. 3 wagons for our wacky system, and at this point I remember that I don't need a train because I have a train. There is already a train. It's there. It's sat there ready. I should name this. This is Iron 1. I can type. Jeez. There we go. Much better. Apply change, and then what we do is we copy and paste. Actually, just have the same name for both ends of it. Then this one. Iron. Whoops. Now you see, I put caps lock on and then I forgot and held down shift like an idiot. Typing is awkward because I have to reach around either side of my mic because it's right in front of my keyboard because I'm a professional and don't have an arm for it to be on or anything. Again, why am I building a train? My brain wants me to build a train. It sees rails and it just fixates on that. There we go, that's the schedule. I don't know if we have enough signals for the moment for this to function. We need more if we want more than one train running on the lines. But this will do for now. And let's make some steel chests. Is that train being fueled with coal? No, it's not, and there's no coal nearby, so we'll have to do that over here. Which is awkward, because, oh no, there's coal up here, we can just bring that down. That'll be fine then. Oh, damn it. Apparently I have the exact right amount of inserters, pretty much. Hello, Ian Bullivant. Welcome to the stream. I know you've been here for like 5 minutes, but I've only just spotted your comment, so that counts. Let's do our unloading like this. I think that probably works best. If I remember rightly, that's the correct way around, at least. We have substations unlocked, and I forgot about that. That's good. Makes this very easy to set up. Oh, train's off. How much fuel does it have? Oh, not much. Gonna have to fix that quickly. Should probably get the power lines running down here as well. Let's go to the power and go from there, I suppose. What are we out of now? Steel. Okay, let's just connect that there. And this back. I wrote outpost, didn't I? I meant to write unloading. I'm mixing up my differing systems here. Let's change this. Actually, this is going to break the train because it's 2 stations. Hang on, actually, what I'm going to do, just... There, that's called T for the moment. That's the way to do it, because then if I go to this one, this is the one the train's trying to get to. If I change the name of this one to unloading... Then I copy that to there, then the train will continue to have the proper route. Doing it the other way around would have meant that the train was trying to go to a station that no longer existed. And here it is. And it's unloading. How much coal have you got? Not much. Let's give you an emergency supply. While I go get a proper supply. We're on the line here. And just split off from the coal line we have. For a moment, the coal supply is going to be terrible back at the power while this is all going. Hopefully that won't last too long. And yeah, we'll send it underground to here. Then briefly underground here. And then again. And it can just run along the back here, out of the way. With some inserters feeding straight in from the belt. Unlikely that we'll need to feed in from a chest or anything like that. That should do the trick. And now we just have to have these go join up to the smelteries. It's slightly awkward because they're on the wrong side. Also, how to get these to, like, merge nicely. It's not the case of just using a 4 to 4 and then merging lines back in. I want to split it down to 2, really. Let's just do it that way and work out if that makes sense. Oops, do that. Do that. Send these there, though actually that's not quite what we want to do. One more set of splitters here, because I think that is actually relevant after what happened with last stream. And then loop this back round. Does that matter? Probably doesn't, but I'm doing it anyway. Can't stop me. And then we'll have 2 of these lines go on. And maybe that evenly uses all 3 belts. We'll find out. It probably doesn't. Not sure if there's an easy way to do that, really. Well, there probably is. Someone has worked out some wonderful maths that does exactly what I'm looking for. But that person is not me. And then here, I'll have to do this. Let's actually just, like, do a merge here, and then underground this. Another merge here. That way we're using both supplies. I don't think I'm even going to put a priority on them. I'm just going to let them all run. Actually, I'm going to put a priority on the original supply. I think that's actually what I want, to mainly to just clear this out. Actually, no, we want to clear the other one out. The other one's in the way. No, flip that around. Exact opposite. Get that stuff used up. Even more mining productivity. Nerdcube introduced a lot of people to Factorio. I was very happy when he covered Factorio because my views went up a lot. I'm not even mad that his views are videos are higher than mine on searches for Factorio. It was very cool to see someone I was a fan of and frequent viewer of playing my favorite game when no one else was at the time. He was someone who saw the potential. That's the cool thing about Factorio. Very few people looked at it and sort of realised what it could become, but there was a handful that did. Nerdcubed was one of them. Sips from the Yogscast was another. Very sad. He did a series like super early before I even heard of the game, and everyone in his comments said it was terrible, and they didn't like it and told him to stop the series. So he did, and it was so annoying because he was so excited when he started that series. He's like, "This game is great. Trust me. It takes a bit to get going, but once it's going, it's fantastic." And I was like, "No, we don't like it. It's too slow. Play something else." I'm like, "You people are terrible. Why would you do this?" And it took 3 years for the Yogscast to discover that Factorio was actually a good game and to play it a lot. What am I doing over here? I don't know. We've got the iron set up now, so I guess the next step is either more factory stuff, but actually the factory's fine. Oh, we need more gears. Yeah, the belts aren't running at full speed. Iron's building up, and yet gears are terrible. This is not a good combination of situations. What is my YouTube routine? I'm sure there've been times where I've had one, but I definitely don't at the moment. I have no routine. I have no plan. I'm very bad at this. Actually, the issue is not at all more assemblers. It's just the supply of iron. What we need is output priority. Right. That might be enough to fix it. It might be too much, but we'll see. Both belts are running full speed now. This still seems to be relatively okay. unbalanced for some... You know what, I'm going to put a balancer in here, because this is frustrating to look at. There. See if that fixes it a bit. So yeah, and the gear of production is now getting twice the iron it used to. I'm pretty sure it is getting 1 full iron belt, plus maybe a bit more. And it's probably helping. And the rest of the iron supply seems to be fine and dealing with the change. Would I ever consider a public live stream? Do you mean like a publicly accessible Factorio game? Is that what you're saying? For that I'd need a good server. A couple of people have offered me good servers, to be fair. I did once do a game with viewers, only 2 of them. I limited it a lot because my connection wasn't happy. I think actually we used someone else's server in the end. But I kept it limited. That was a... Oh wow, but me, everyone's responding, is this not a public live stream? You missed my videos to plug to. I'm sorry, I intend to get back to doing more of my own single player videos eventually. But there's just so many collabs I'm in right now, I haven't had the time. I remember watching Lathric's first play and that's how he found the game. Oh, and Michael A discovered Factorio through my videos, which is probably a relatively rare thing, because most people come to my channel for Factorio, so I'm wondering why you were, how you got to my channel, for it to be me that introduced you to Factorio. But a lot of old Minecrafters now play Factorio too. That makes a decent bit of sense. Like, anyone who played Minecraft and got into the automation side of things makes absolute sense that they're now into Factorio. Because Factorio has the essence of automation that, like, those mods like Tekkit and stuff had. Of, like, the end point of those mods. This is it. This is when you take away the Minecraft part and keep the core idea of what a lot of those automation mods were, which is conveyor belts and automatic assembly and all that cool stuff, and ramping up production and that kind of thing. Spaghetti Ribbonworld, please no. Especially not following like the spaghetti western rules. That'd be a nightmare in a Ribbonworld, you'd be doomed. I should start a speedrun with tons of people. I have no interest in doing speedruns, but maybe with a bunch of people then it'd be interesting just to have a semi-speedrun where we try without properly checking any of the techniques to finish the game quickly. Oh, people did like you, Paper Plane. You were fine. I assume that's what you're referring to, your appearance on the stream. You got to understand that if I thought that you weren't gonna be fun to have on voice chat, I would have cut the stream before we came back from the break where I opened comms. That might sound like a bit of a brutal thing to say, but it's a compliment that, like, if I'd started that call and the people in it had been terrible people, I would have cut the call again. But I didn't, because I spoke to you and you were nice, and I'm like, yes, I can stream with this guy. This is gonna be fun. It's a dangerous thing opening up a voice channel to people when you're streaming, but I was happy. I made the right decision, I think, with that. I think that went well. I was happy with it. You like to describe Factorio as a game in which your aim is to not have to play it. It's a fair point. Well, here's the thing. The thing about it is that, like, in Minecraft, when you need diamonds, you go mine diamonds. When you need iron, you go mine iron. And every time you mine the same amount of iron. You mine 1 block, you get 1 iron. And that's the gameplay. The gameplay is the mining of the iron, whereas the gameplay of this is the furthering of the automation. It's the adding in extra stuff. And that's part of the reason it's so like fun is because you're always doing something new, because your job isn't to repeatedly mine the iron, it's to set up a better iron mining, and something that you can then leave for ages. And every time everything's a bit different and it's a bit new, because you're constantly setting up new different levels and stages of automation. I don't know how well I'm communicating this, but I think you probably get the idea. That you're constantly working towards advancing the game. This is sort of a rule that sometimes I ignore, but a rule I try and follow with Factorio is, if you're waiting for something, make the thing faster. The point of, because you're like, if you're waiting for something, then something's gone wrong somewhere. You're treating it like Minecraft or something, where you're having to do some tedious task. You shouldn't have to do that sort of thing with Factorio. If something is going slowly, it's because you haven't made it fast enough, and you should actively be making it faster. Look at this, the belts have completely shut down. We're getting a full 2 belts of ore from the train. At least for the moment. It might be running down. In fact, it looks definitely like it's running down. You will remember the worst of it, Paper Plane. I'll be honest, at this point I barely remember any of it, because I've got a very terrible sieve memory for that sort of thing. But I remember it as being a good stream. If that makes you feel better. Also, there is a rule that I find often applies, which is if someone apologizes for their bad English, they have good English. I've never known someone to say apologies for my bad English and then say English badly. And I do seem to remember that you apologized for your English. Right, I think we should maybe try and make nuclear. It's a bit early in the game for that, I feel, but nuclear is awesome. And so I think I'm going to try and work towards that. I think we have the research, right? Yeah, we have the stuff. Oh, we need concrete production. Ah, I remember. That was a thing. Okay, let's just set up some random concrete production, like right here. Is there some other stone around? There's some over there. We can reach it. Oh, yeah. Oh, I forgot how far I explored. Jeez. I went far with that. And there's some uranium there. Not much, but there's some. So yeah, we can get that and get some more. But for the moment, I think what we have in storage is good. Pretty sure you found my channel through FTL. Wow, really? Maybe one of the streams, that would make sense, because YouTube promotes streams a lot, but I wouldn't expect to ever be found by someone searching for FTL. I missed the boat on that. I wasn't making YouTube videos when FTL came out. But it is a cool game that should never go off someone's playlist. I should check how long ago I last played that. I mustn't let it get beyond a year. That's the rule. It's like the law. Now let's set up a couple of electric furnaces for the stone brick. And then we're going to cram in the production here, I think. What do we need? Probably, I think that's where we want things positioned. Also, let's make good use of the space. Oh, perfect. How many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Ugh, that's an awkward number. There, I feel better now. Oh, I'm the worst. Okay. Plonk these down. Whoops. Reverse this belt. Reverse all of these. And have some inserters going into these. And have it right down at the bottom so it can properly join up here. Then I need to work out... Oh, how do we fit the pipes into this? I think we need to move all these up by 1, thinking about it, because then we can have pipes, and then we can have long-armed inserters, and then belts. So yeah, these all need to move up by a tile. I think there's the space for it. Just about. Yes, just. So this runs here. Then we got to sneak an iron ore belt in here. Space efficiency, most definitely. And this is the essence of Ribbonworld. Run this right down to here. Even have a turn at the end for this. And then, actually no, we can cut it there. Thinking about it, then we can do this. And this. Nope, other way. And then outputs over here. Need a couple more of those. We're short on something again. Oh, it's steel. Same thing as before. Just grab some from here. Let's wait, it's built up all on one side. How very strange. Let's do something about that. Oh, this power pole's important. Does that hold up everything? No, there's a backup. We can just destroy that. Put a replacement in there. We can put this in. That's all good. Continue gathering this. I guess we can just yoink from the smelters, get a full 3 stacks. When was the last time I played with Avak? That was a while ago now. I think the last time we did a collab was while he was still on roll for it. It has been a while. Let's just... Oh no, we can't have those there, can we? Whoops. What? Nope. Replace. That's fine, it works. Make... Oh, I forgot! There's a new kind of... there's refined concrete now. They brought out a patch with this. It gives you walking speed 150% instead of 140, and is made of twice as much concrete as you get out of it, plus like sticks and steel and stuff. It's very weird. Yeah, so that's a thing. Do we still... there we go, centrifuge. Okay, so the old recipes still use basic concrete, so we'll set up this concrete production, and then I guess we'll set up refined concrete production somewhere. That'll be neat. Yeah, so for the moment, set this. And we'll have to work out what we do with water. I'm not quite sure. We might just steal this water here. I mean, I guess there's enough of it. There's more than enough, so... Oh, there's no space to grab it off the end. We'll have to cheat. Cut this for a second. I'm sure it's fine. The factory won't even notice. And then just do this here and just steal it and send it off this way. This can't possibly go wrong. And then just run these all along here. And there's water. It's even normal temperature because of how this stuff works. Oh, hello. I've got to watch for trains passing by now. There we go, that's that running. Got to put a couple of power poles in here. It's a bit awkward. I guess just where we need them. Leave it at that. Run this down here. And here we'll have it stored. With a stack inserter. Run a water line between the tracks. I guess I could do that. Hey, people who know about this sort of stuff, is there gonna be pressure loss in the pipes if I run them the entire length of the map? I feel like there will be, and therefore it won't be viable over long distances, but will be usable for stuff like this at least. How much more stream is there? There is about 40 minutes more stream. You can't catch up from the beginning anymore, I'm afraid. Too late. Streams go for 2 hours, so after the 1 hour mark, it's too late to be able to catch up anymore. I should make some storage for these these blocks so that if I need them I can get some. So this is going to steal... Oh, all of them. Okay, let's make it a slower inserter so that the other stuff has a chance. There we go, 2 at a time. Exactly half. Works out wonderfully. I could easily add more smelting if I liked, to be fair. Perhaps makes sense. Whatever, but here we have some concrete. All I wanted this for was so I could start making centrifuges and stuff like that, so I don't need them in vast quantities. Oh, I've got to make all the gears. I've run out again. What else do we need? We need a nuclear reactor. 1 will do for the moment. And I don't think anything else I want needs concrete. Off the top of my head. Nope. Wasn't the sponsorship around $5? In Denmark it costs $8.1. Yeah, it's like that. It's got different prices depending on the country you're in. There's a page somewhere on YouTube that runs down the entire list, and it's very interesting to see the differences. And where they are. Quite a fascinating thing to look at. I can understand the logic of it, but yeah, it means that in certain places, as it turns out, for example, Denmark, it is more expensive, I'm afraid. Sorry. The prices are set by YouTube, I can't do anything about it. The good thing is that whatever it is, I get the same rate. I get the same percentage. If that's what you were concerned about. Shouldn't be any pressure losses. You can transport oil through long pipes. Yeah, but with oil, throughput doesn't matter. Yeah, fluid mechanics in Factorio is the dark arts. No one understands it. Oh, there's mining productivity. And we've finally used up all of the stages of it that we're able to research right now. So, I don't know what to do next. Let's do braking force. Let's have our trains be a little bit more quick. I like that braking force speeds up trains. It's a weird thing to think of, but it totally makes sense. The later they have to brake, the quicker they'll arrive at their destination. You lose too much pressure for it to be useful after about 50 underground pipe lengths, if not sooner. Well, that's not too terrible. It's got... There's some usability there. But yeah, for anything high throughput like nuclear, I'm going to have to build it next to the water. There's no other way. Yeah, it'll transport it, but throughput will drop as time goes. Or length goes. Quality drop? According to YouTube, my stream's running fine. It has been known to be wrong before, I think. Hard to remember nowadays, but it's probably your end, I'm afraid. Need to go grab infinite amounts of all sorts to make the nuclear reactor I need. Mainly advanced circuits are the difficulty. Braking later, I think, will increase fuel consumption slightly. That is a fair point. That is the sacrifice I suppose we're making. Not too terrible, we have plenty of coal. I'm switching to nuclear in a minute, so we'll have plenty of coal for a very long time. Might even set up coal liquefaction later for oil, because I hate liquids. And any excuse to not have liquids in Factorio I will take. Boring actually getting a mod that removes liquid. That's probably a thing. Someone did a fascinating thing where they just had every machine that uses liquids be fed by an assembler that would unpack a barreled version of the fluid. And so, like, there were no pipes anywhere, because everything will be barreled as soon as it was gathered, and everything will be unbarreled wherever it was used. Really interesting way of doing it. It's tempting to do it, but it's awkward. You gotta have, like, robots and stuff to do blueprints, otherwise it'll be an awkward thing to keep up with. Right, we need steel in vast quantities. Let ourselves be carried down the belt. And there's braking force 1. Continue. Okay, now we have enough steel. Now we just need copper. And by gathering all these basic raw materials, I can then, in the space of 8 seconds, handcraft a massive nuclear reactor. Don't question it. Totally makes sense. And now we need a bunch more steel and gears and stuff to make some centrifuges. Yeah, it is almost... We got half an hour. I mean, that's, you know, we got some time. And I am going to attempt to send you somewhere at the end of the time. For something a little bit different, we're going to do a manual raid. A cross-platform manual raid. I'm keeping it a secret as to where we're raiding, just to keep you in suspense and stop you from tuning out before the stream is over. This is great, we've got a belt that automatically helps us to gather gears quicker. Until it stops working because we go too far. We've made one more centrifuge, we need more advanced circuits. Billions of solar panels and accumulators. Now here's the thing. A lot of people argue that it does make sense to have solar panels and accumulators instead of a nuclear reactor, but this is Ribbonworld. We don't have the space for millions of solar panels and accumulators, so it makes absolute sense to use nuclear power. And that makes me very happy, because I love nuclear power. I mean, I would have set it up anyway, whatever save we were playing. I always do that. It's great. Oh, look at that weirdness. On the end of the splitter, everything's sort of like changing layer, and it's messing with my eyes to look at that. Ugh. We can build another 2, and then what are we missing? Everything, including concrete. Let's grab enough to make another 2. 8 seems like a good number of centrifuges to have. And we can leave it there. We'll get up another 2 stacks of advanced circuits. Steel, let's just get tons of it. I think we want only 1 stack actually. Get another one because we always need plenty of steel. Actually, not always, but often. Sheepdog would have pocket crafted the whole thing from scratch. Could he have even have done that? Yes, he could have manually crafted the advanced circuits, and that would have made... Yeah, he did that, didn't he? He totally did that once. He manually crafted all the advanced circuits needed for a nuclear reactor, but not before accidentally making a centrifuge instead. Oh god. That was hilarious. He'd spent hours on it, and then he's like, here you go, and then was like, wait, that's not the thing you wanted, is it? Oh. Okay, we also need a ton of gears. Whoops, I've broken copper. Ah well. Once we're putting what time it is, we got a 9:30, a 3:30, a 2:30, a 1:30, or say a 1:20 apparently. You're a time traveler. You in some weird between time zone? 7:30, 12:30, and for me it is 2:30. I am in the UK, and yes, I am awake at 2:30 in the morning, and even streaming at this time. It is normal for me to be awake at this time. Essentially, I work nights, because all my collabs and all the streams that I'm in and everything start at 5 PM, at the earliest. And the other day, I was running tech for a Roll For It stream that went from 2 AM to 4 AM, so this is normal for me. That was a fun thing. Let me tell you the story of that. So, one of the Roll For It shows we've got running, me and EE aren't in it, but Maggie is in it, who is also an admin, and so she was going to be running the tech, but her internet broke. Her internet service provider is like I don't know, every time she rings, so she's got no idea what's going on with it, and she can't get him to fix it. I think at one point they told her they'd fixed it, and then it still wasn't fixed. And so for a couple streams, EE has been running the tech for the streams, which is fairly normal because he runs the tech normally for the streams anyway. It was going to be an exception that Maggie was running it this time. And so that was the plan, that was the system. But this week, E was away. He was physically not at home during the time the stream was live. He was away on the other end of the country. And so couldn't make it to do the tech. But Maggie had been assured, I believe, that her internet would be fixed. And then she was told it's probably fixed now, and then she tested it a couple hours before everything was going to happen, and lo and behold, it wasn't fixed, and so she couldn't host the stream. And so I had to take a crash course from Maggie in the fancier points of OBS and running a proper stream with overlays and different screens and stuff in the space of a couple hours so that I could run the tech for it. And it was a bit stressful, but it was also very informative. I've learned a lot, and I think it's probably served me pretty well, because I was saying that I work well on, generally, I learn well, let's say, under stress. If there's a deadline, if I'm stressed and I've got limited time to do something, I generally do it probably better than normal. And so, if it wasn't for the fact that I'd had to take a crash course as an emergency measure to host that stream, it probably would have taken me weeks to learn everything that I did in that space of time. And I now know all sorts of cool tricks about fancy OBS stuff and fancy streaming stuff, so you're going to be seeing a bit of that soon. You've already seen it if you were watching at the start of the stream. I've now got a fancy little scroll-in text at the bottom of the train image that lists all the sponsors, and I'm going to have to add quite a few to that today, which is nice. And that's going to run at the start and end of every stream so people can see the list of names. Quite proud of that. And you too can have your name on that if you become a YouTube sponsor, of course. And yeah, like, scrolling text had been a mystery to me for a very long time, and it turns out it's in the stupidest place. You have to set up a thing. You have to set up a source, which is what any sort of element is called in OBS. You've got to set that up, make it a thing, and then you've got to click on it again and apply a filter, and then select the filter to be scrolling. Now, I don't know, I'm not well versed in like tech, but I feel like a scroll is not by anyone's definition a filter. Right? I'm going to actually set the input priority to this. Actually, yeah, input priority right with this. I do want to prioritize these lines over this line, because the storage, we want to just stay as a storage if we have plenty of ore here. So, the same goes for this one. And yeah, so this line is stopped now, and these ones are running a little bit quicker. It's still not great. There's not many miners to start with, so it's probably fine. And thank you, Notrick123, for your YouTube sponsorship. Very much appreciated. If you go to Discord and go to Connections, you can link your Discord account with your YouTube Gaming account, which will then give you the option to join my server. Press that button, you will turn up, and I will say hi. If I'm not asleep. In which case I'll say hi in the morning. Or the afternoon, as the case may be. I sleep at weird times. And thank you to Papier Fliegenar for the €10 super chat. Are you going to make us raid another stream? I would like to go to bed today, sire, please. We're not finishing quite yet. The stream in question has not started. It is starting at 3 AM in 24 minutes. So, if you have to go to sleep, I mean, that's completely reasonable. You can sleep when you like. I ain't gonna force you to hang around. Okay, yeah, let's go to the uranium and start mining it. Do we have some miners? Yeah, we got plenty of those. We will need a train that can transport liquids, and then we can send sulfuric acid. Am I making sulfuric acid yet? That may not be a thing. Let's have a look around here. We are not making sulfuric acid yet. We'll have to set that up and get that being delivered. How far away is the uranium? Oh, it's a trek. That definitely, yeah, that needs a train. We need more rails for that. We have no, I think, stone, yeah, so we can't make any rails right now. Let's fix that. And make 1,000,000 rails. Until we've used up all the stone. Now we need iron. Oh, no, we don't, actually. Iron's fine. Everything's still fine, really. We can get away with that. Let's go. Paper plane, if you need to go to bed, go to bed. Oh no. I see what I've done. I understand. I know what Lauren experiences every stream when I'm like, hey, I'm awake at 5 AM right now. And she's like, why? What are you doing? Stop. Oh dear. We'll probably use this train. Does this do anything other than deliver water? Goes between Dr. Horrible and Liam Herrick. This tells me nothing. I need to name my stations. I think it literally just transports water. So we can totally rope this into delivering sulfuric acid. But, oh look, you can see the system's working. You can see it all in action now. Got 3 different trains going. Actually, if we have a uranium train, it should probably be a separate train, but it can totally go to this station. Oh. Yeah, I forgot. We still mining the iron. Can't actually do the expansion thing because there's iron. Well, while we're here, let's clean up. Is there anything I can do to speed up this process? Yes, I can shift all the miners. So let's do that. Also, I can get rid of the messy power pole stuff by just having a substation. And then what I'll do is shift everything along by 1. And that will get things being mined just a little bit quicker. We'll actually move them by 2 here. Having them a little bit staggered might help to speed up the process. But yeah, that's going to take a while, unfortunately. There is not much we can do about that apart from, like, put speed modules in it. I think we have those. We do have them. We can just stick those in there and get this moving a bit quicker, because, like, 15k in the middle here is not so great. Or at least going to get rid of this top row once these have got through a bit more of their work. Can I show off the base? Oh yeah, let's have a quick tour. So we're currently in the oil area. So this is all pretty standard, just slightly compressed to make sure I've got enough space. At some point we'll probably have to bring the refineries around a bit, start meandering them to have enough space. This will probably not need to get any further than here, I imagine. I think we can fit everything we need in this space and a little bit here for the sulfuric acid and stuff, so that should be fine. Bit of empty space, some future proofing, just leaving it open so I can put stuff in it later. Here is where I'm thinking of having the nuclear power. We need it next to the lake so we can get a good supply of water for the constant water usage of the system. Got a couple trains and stuff around here. Then we've got this bit that you've seen quite a bit today with a couple of bits of mining around, and I'm moving away from here, as you can see. This used to be where all the base was, and we've slowly progressed, and we're not really using that anymore, and we've just moved on further down the line. Got our smelting area here, which is looking quite healthy. And then we have our main bus. You got all your standard stuff, just keeping in mind that I leave enough space to expand everything. Don't know if I've done that for this, actually, looking at it, but you know. Wacky stuff here with the advanced circuits, they're going to be a struggle. We're going to be short on those. That's going to need probably speed modules, which is going to be awkward, because usually I go for productivity modules with those, but productivity requires space, and space is something we don't have. And that's how far we're up to, and then there's some wilderness, lots of biters, need to kill them at some point. Over in the other direction, a lot of empty wilderness we've explored. Uranium. And then right over here, some more biters. That's what we've got to. You're linked to YouTube to Discord now. Where should you get the invite? It should appear in your connections tab in Discord. It may take some time, but it will eventually appear. You flick the switch and you'll turn up. If you have your YouTube gaming linked to your Discord. They should add underground train rails and tunnels. It's not a bad idea, but I present to you the question. If you're in a train, in a tunnel, and you get out, what happens to you? Because I feel like that could go wrong. I mean, I guess you could pop out at one side, or maybe it's actually somewhere you can walk around inside of, and you can actually just walk out one end, but I feel like that could go wrong. Maybe like a train bridge. It'll look weird though, because you'll be suddenly rising and falling, and that'll look off. And thank you, Mini Betrayal, for your YouTube sponsorship. Very much appreciated, of course, as always. YouTube and Discord sync every hour, so it may take some time for it to register you. I don't know whether, I feel like you would get the invite straight away, but then it would take time for you to join the server, but maybe the invite is what is part of the synchronization. Actually, it makes more sense that, the server synchronizes and that sends you the invite, thinking about it, so it won't be there yet, but it will be there soon. Most likely. What happens when a train runs out of fuel inside a tunnel? Yeah, that's another awkward thing there. If you just can't get out if you're in the tunnel, you're just doomed. You're trapped forever. Insta-death. Okay, so, yeah, we can't... I wanted to get the uranium, but I can't, because there's ore in the way. Stupid ore being useful and keeping my factory running. How am I supposed to work in these sort of conditions? It takes 15 seconds to craft a speed module. I mean, these... Maybe they've already got the productivity thing in them because of the research. I'm gonna mix modules to speed this up a bit. And I'll take the time to talk to chat. Took you about 12 hours for you to get the link? Since the time that you did the synchronization? Really? Yeah, they would do something to stop the tunnels being a problem, but the question is, what would they do? How would they approach that? What way should they go with it? So, you know, it makes sense. There we go, that speeds it up a bit. Making them at double speed now, nearly. I'm a genius. I'm even more of a genius. This is the best plan. There we go, that's 3. Plonk them in there. We got that one running a bit quicker now. That's the one that's the worst. Oh, let's research the better speed modules. Actually, they require processing. Wait, do they? Yeah, I think they require processing units, so we can't make those, but that would have been funny. Hiya, Koto Ballister, welcome. And thank you, Luigi Super. Yeah, fuel would be the most awkward thing about tunnels. Because you would either have to say that, a train has to stop before it runs out of fuel, or if it's... You'd have to have a train know if it ran out of fuel in a tunnel, or know if it was gonna run out of fuel, so it could stop beforehand, or it could deliberately coast until it's on the other end. But if trains could coast through the tunnels to get to where you could see them again, people would abuse that immediately and make endless chains of train tunnels so that a train could have almost unpowered movement or something. They've come up with some clever system where, like, it stops at a station, gets one coal, and then runs into that system and, like, you get free movement. So put them in there, and I'm going to cancel my crafting from here, I think. And also cancel this. We've got 3 more modules. We'll put them in that one, and that's that. We'll leave the ones on the outside because they're going to run out quicker anyway. The ones that matter are the ones in the middle because they have the highest density of ore that they need to work through. Actually, instead of this, let's go with this. I feel like the ones down the bottom are going to be more of a pain. Anything else I can do? No, not quite. I was thinking about ways of, like, compressing... Oh, actually. Let's get a fast... Oh, we have like 30 of those, I forgot. Get a fast underground. Let's do... It doesn't quite work. I was just thinking... Oh, there's barely any ore on this end, so it's going to make no difference if I manage to get one miner moved slightly. Is that research done? Let's see over here. This is more of a useful one. We can do something with this. If we do this and this, and then we get an underground running here, then we've compressed that a bit more, and then can do a bit of messing about up here to squeeze just that little bit extra out of the deposits. And also, I move this up a smidge. Put another one in there, that's mining 1,000. There we go, we've got things going just a tiny bit quicker. And that's helping this miner, which is important, because this is one of the worse off ones. As is this now, because it's getting that spot there, which means this can focus more on these ones, and so on and so forth. Technically, putting speed monitors in all of them would help, but they're the key ones, those, so we'll leave it at that. Right, so we can't go looking for uranium today, unfortunately. I mean, we know where the uranium is. We can't go and get the uranium. We can't get it mined and delivered quite yet. But I suppose we could start work on the reactor ready. Just raring to go for when we actually get what we need. How long do you sit about for? 30 seconds? Takes forever. Here we go. Build a... Use... An idea to fix fluid issues underground. Make it so that the train sends out a signal to alert no fuel, and you go to that spot and build a machine that will drill into the ground and load the train. I feel like there are better ways. Maybe just one or two. This is all progressing fine, and we don't want to speed that up. But yeah, it's not a very good supply anymore. It's definitely struggling. This stuff has kicked in again. Wow, yeah, so all our iron supplies are running here. And we're still using some of this, even though we're prioritizing... Oh yeah, look, this is terrible. I should have built more miners while I was out there, to be honest. Ah well, it's working for the moment. We've got the stockpile. It'll just slowly run down. It gives us time. I'm going to go steal infinite resources and make a massive amount of nuclear reactor-based equipment. Let us actually place the blueprint. Get that out of the way. So I came up with a blueprint for a nice reactor design, and I've just, ever since making it, I've never used anything else because it's just so easy. Actually, technically fits. Oh no, it doesn't technically fit. Yeah, okay, we'll have it this way around. Just interested. It needs a bit of space here, so we need... Let's leave a gap over here so we can fit stuff in here if we really need to. 1, 2, 3, 4. Technically we could get away with 2, or could we? No, we couldn't. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's where we're putting it. queue that up, and we need to get some grenades, I think, and start destroying all the trees. I sort of don't want to waste it, though. But we'll never use that many trees. Ah, we'll grenade it. Clear out the space, and then we can start building the reactor. So yeah, this is my reactor design. There are many like it, but this one is mine. Yeah, I designed this a while ago, and I'm like, this is everything I want, it's fine. If I need more power, I make another one. If I need less power, I don't build the whole thing at once. It has worked very well for me so far. The ratios are near perfect, not quite there. But it's close enough. Like, it means that some of them... Like, you could get away with taking out a few of them, I guess, but people come up with designs that are like perfect in terms of the ratios. But the thing is that they use so much more space because the ratio is 1 reactor to 4 of these to 7 of these. So it's like people come up with all sorts of wacky designs so that 1 can run into 4 and then the 4 can merge and run into 7. It's like, just have 1 run into 2. 4-8 is very close to 4-7. And it's over rather than under, which means it's fine. So I just build this, and it's a lot easier. We got trains, how about plans? What? Did you mean planes? Yes, initially they were thinking of an endgame where they would send resources into space and build a space base. Yeah, the original plan was that when you sent up rockets, you'd send them up full of materials, and then you would send yourself up, and all the materials you sent up would be there on a platform in space, and you would then build a mini factory on that platform as you flew through space, and maybe battled against space biters. They were still working out the specifics of it, but unfortunately they decided to scrap it, which I was very sad about, and instead went for infinite research at the end of the game. And I wish I want my space platforms. Such a cool idea. And it was a decent, like, part of it, it was a bit weird because it was sort of like, you've spent the entire game building this factory, now here's something completely different. But the thing is that it was in the spirit of Factorio, because you spent all this time building a factory, and then you got an end game that was about building a factory. And yes, you were starting from the beginning, but it's sort of like a nice callback to the beginnings of your of the game. But this time you've got all the research, so you're able to build it differently, and you've got a very limited space to work in. So it's sort of like a challenge mode at the end. And I do wish they'd included it. I think it would have been an interesting thing to have. It wouldn't have been everyone's cup of tea, most definitely, but I think that a lot of people would have enjoyed it. And it's a shame that they scrapped that. I don't think they've got any plans of bringing it back, and I'm very sad. Hope someone mods it in. Maybe someone has. That'd be awesome. What am I doing? Oh yeah, I need to get infinite materials to make all the stuff I need for the reactor. Looking about boats and aquatic biters. Definitely interesting idea. Probably territory for modders, ultimately. Let's upgrade. Actually, we don't need to upgrade grenade damage. We just saw that we have enough to destroy fine with a single grenade. Right, we need... What? I think it's actually iron for this. Oh, no, it is copper. We need 100 copper per heat exchanger. That's a lot. Right now, we don't need to make the entire thing. We just need to make enough for 1 reactor to run. That'll probably stand in for the entire Steam system we currently have. Is that enough? Yes, we're short on gears and iron for pipes. Though if we can just get pipes themselves, that would be good. We're making them over here. I don't think we're storing them, but I can steal them off the belt at least. Let's make some storage. Actually, well, let's do it fancy. Let's have this. Filter. Pipes. Copy, paste. Flip that to the other side, clear out the iron that's got in there. Run it in this way. Stick it in a chest. And Bob's your uncle. Awesome. And just steal all of these, or speed it up by just hoovering them for the moment. Thank you, Slim1357. How did I get that wrong? It's like a common number combination, and I still mess it up. This is the thing. If you present me with a username containing numbers, I will mix up the numbers. It is known. Well, the reason you can sit inside the rocket is a joke thing, an Easter egg that the devs put in. Someone said they wanted it, and it's quite a neat thing to be able to sit in the rocket as it flies. So if you put a car in the rocket, you can then sit in the car in the rocket and be launched with the rocket, and then you appear back on the ground. But yeah, there was once a time where the plan was that you would get in the rocket and it would fly you to space, and you would build a factory in space. Right, that's that sorted. So I should probably get some more pipes in general, because we'll need a few for the purposes of the nuclear reactor. Steam tank storage is the most efficient energy storage in the game, though. Also, you're wasting nuclear fuel with your design. You should really store steam. Ah, that's awkward, though. And again, space. The final frontier. No, space efficiency, it's important. We need, like, I've deliberately got a design that is nice and compact and avoids fancy stuff like steam storage. And I know that it wastes nuclear fuel, but I've never had a shortage of uranium that's meant that matters. Like, from the word go, I'm trying to build up the supply of 40 uranium-235 so I can set off... I can use it as a catalyst to set off the refinement process. So I'm never short on the uranium needed for the reactors. It really doesn't make that much difference. I'm fine with overkill and overuse of fuel, because it's never in that vast a quantity. Long ways away from release, so you never know. If you're talking about Factorio, I'm not sure if that's still the case. They are planning for a release this summer. And there has been a running joke in their office that the game is always releasing next summer, but they're saying that it's for real this time. They feel like they're in a place where they could release it, and so they're gonna polish things up, wrap things up, and have done with it. And then probably carry on development. I think that's their intention. But they're going to actually have the full release pretty soon, as far as I can tell. The day may soon be upon us. And they have no intention, before that time, I believe, to include the space platform stage. And I notice it is exactly 3 AM, so we are about to finish for today. I just have to wait for the stream in question to actually begin that we're raiding. Because they don't have a countdown before they start. So gotta wait till they're going. So I think this is where we'll leave it. We've got a lot of the equipment we need. Let's just make a bunch of heat pipes so that's all going. There's an ad running, so it looks like their stream has just begun. So we're going to leave this here. I'm going to zoom out so you can see the ribbon and all its ribbony glory. And we're going to end for today. Next episode, we will... I'm not sure what we'll do. I guess we'll find out. Maybe uranium stuff if we can get to that, but there's ore in the way. It's going to take some time to work through. So in the meantime, finishing setting up the nuclear stuff like ready for that. And then going from there, I don't know what to... like, maybe new science? Maybe just working on general supplies of ore, because it looks like our iron's not doing so great right now. But, so we've got time for today, so we're going to go raid someone in the good old manual fashion, because this is YouTube and that's Twitch, and YouTube doesn't do raiding, and also cross-platform isn't a thing. So, the people we're going to be raiding today are Geek Space TV. They are a tabletop RPG show, similar in general idea to Roll For It, except they do theirs in person. They're based in Seattle, and they have a physical studio where they record all their stuff, and it's very cool. Lauren Random Tuesday is their main GM at the moment, and is, as you may know, is in Roll For It and GMs me in a bunch of shows and stuff, and so on and so forth. well, teams me in one and has been a fellow cast member in one and is a cast member in another that I'm not a cast member in. She just does a lot of Roll For It stuff. She also does a lot of Geek Space stuff. And they're awesome people and need support. And so I'm going to send you to them so that you can say hi and help and watch and hopefully enjoy their show. They are currently showing the finale of their short series based on the Good Society RPG. Their series is called A Manner of Speaking. That's a pun, it is fun. And they have literally, at this very moment, started. I'm going to post a link in the chat. And the moment I do, please go follow that link and go say, I guess, shout Manuel Bentham Raid or something, I don't care what, and then watch them. Yeah, it's their finale, their 4th episode. It's a very interesting RPG with very interesting people in it. And so hopefully you'll like it. And so I'm posting the link now, which for you is 20 seconds in the past, but whatever. And go over there, say hi to them. And with that, I shall say goodbye, thank you for watching, and I shall see you next time.